I welcome you to the IFPMA technical briefing on biodiversity. My name is Axel Braun. I work for Hoffmann-La Roche in Basel, and I'm the chair of the IFPMA CBD working group. Normally, I would have now passed over to Mike Boyd, the IFPMA Director General, but unfortunately he cannot be with us today, so I apologize for him. I will continue with a short introduction into today's meeting and the issues. The Geneva Pharma Forum was established to serve as a forum for discussion and interaction for the Geneva diplomatic community involved in public health issues. Geneva Pharma Forums are organized as a discussion panel during which experts from the pharmaceutical industry, academia, and other settings are presenting on specific health-related topics, followed by an open debate. The format of today's forum will follow our traditional approach. Today, we will be focusing on the links between the pharmaceutical research and biodiversity, especially access and benefit sharing. Biodiversity is a cross-cutting issue. In Geneva, biodiversity, as you know, is the focus of discussion at WTO with respect to the relationship between the CBD and the TRIPS agreement. In WIPO, Intergovernmental Committee on Intellectual Property, Genetic Resources and Traditional Knowledge and Folklore, and it's being raised in the deliberations of WHO Intergovernmental Meeting on Pandemic Influenza Preparedness. The biodiversity issue is also the subject of discussions outside of Geneva, specifically the negotiations in the different fora under the Convention of Biological Diversity on the development of an international regime on access and benefit sharing, which will be coming to a head in Nagoya next year in October, and in capitals around the globe where governments are considering national and regional regimes on biodiversity. The biopharmaceutical industry is following the biodiversity issue in all these national, regional, and multilateral fora. In today's forum, we hope to share with you the biopharmaceutical industry's perspective on the biodiversity issue. We all have a vested interest in ensuring the future of biopharmaceutical research, which is essential for improving global health. Innovation in the pharmaceutical sector is a complex and challenging process that requires scientific excellence, commitment of significant resources, and in some cases, access to genetic resources. In that regard, our speakers of today have come prepared to be able to share with you some of the real-world challenges in undertaking biopharmaceutical research and how especially proposals on access and benefit sharing can have an adverse impact on that research. It is in the mutual interest of both the providers and the users of genetic resources to work together. Only through close collaborations will providers of the genetic resources and the biopharmaceutical industry ensure that the research benefits are equally shared and that access to genetic resources is provided on fair and mutually agreed terms. Today's IFPMA's technical briefing is intended to improve the understanding of this complex issue. IFPMA has had a long history of an interaction with the issue. Even without the CBD international regime, we have developed access and benefit sharing guidelines for our members. The guidelines that the IFPMA has developed on access to genetic resources and equitable sharing of benefits arising out of their utilization list certain best practices which should be followed by companies which will engage in the acquisition and use of genetic resources. A copy of these guidelines is in the package on your table. Industry representatives also provide technical advice to different experts groups at the CBD and in other fora. For example, industry experts were in Hyderabad in India in June this year to participate in the deliberations of the expert working group on traditional knowledge associated with genetic resources, which had been organized to assist the work of the working group on the ABS international regime negotiations. The biopharmaceutical industry, through the IFPMA, is engaged in the work of the WIPO IGC and has sponsored numerous side events explaining the industry's views at CBD and WIPO meetings. I close by reiterating the support of the biopharmaceutical industry for fair and equitable benefit sharing that is consistent with and supportive of the fundamental principles expressed in the CBD. The presentations that will follow will seek to explain in detail how we believe that the objectives found in the CBD can be best attained to the mutual advantage of all stakeholders. Again, welcome to today's Geneva Pharma Forum on Biodiversity.